Welcome back, Minecraft fans, to our very own world of Rivenbourne. We're hanging out in our desert city of sands here, and we got quite a few buildings here. I don't know if you remember, but we got working on some road designs and also part of the village over here. And it's looking pretty cool, but that's not where we're going to focus today. Although I'm sure we'll put in a little bit of effort detailing and maybe building a few buildings over there. But first, we're going to build this bridge. This cobblestone bridge is not actually going to stay like this, believe it or not. But I've got a pretty, I think, fun plan for just the direction that I want to go with this bridge. But I'm going to entirely just going to freestyle it. So let's see how that goes and what we can come up with. Alright, got some supplies here. Let's see what we got. Looking pretty low. I'll just grab some of everything. And yeah, and like I said, we're going to make it up as we go along. So one thing that I'm definitely going to need is some... Can we make these into stairs? No, they still don't have stairs for that one yet. We're definitely going to need some stairs, so I'll just make a ton of those. And we need lots of slabs. Do I have more slabs, I think? Oh yeah, smooth sandstone. Do I have... Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're pretty low on supplies, but that's alright. We'll make more when we need more. And that's a question for you. When you sit down to build something in Minecraft, do you like to gather all the supplies first and then work out a design? Do you like to come up with the design first and then gather supplies? Or do you do what I do and build until you run out of supplies and then get more and then build some more and run out again and then go get more? And I'm not saying it's efficient, but that's definitely what I do. So let me know. But of course, this old bridge has got to go. And oh, I'm sinking. So let's get some of those. And for the top of the bridge, it won't matter what slabs we use. Let's do this. Here's something like that. This is again just going to be a rough blueprint for now. And of course, we'll do something underneath. But it is going to be a flat bridge. Or, you know, a level without curvature to the pathway at least. And then underneath the supports we'll probably have some arches. Because, you know, you're building with sandstone, you're going to need something to strengthen it. Okay, now it's dark. So this is the plan for the ramp up on this side. Pretty high, actually. Might need to drop this even a little bit lower. Yeah, I think so, but definitely needs to come back. So if we go start off right here, start ramping up right here, and then do something like this. There we go. And yeah, I think this will be good. I don't think we want... The question is, when you finish off a bridge, is the pathway that you walk on going to be at half block level, or is it going to be at full block level? And then are the railings going to be at full block or half block level? And I think what I want to do is, in order to have the railings at block level, we're going to have the pathway at half block level, and then it'll be really easy to fall off of the bridge, but that's not actually anything we're concerned about. Because this is not a bridge for safety. We're not bridging over the void in the end dimension or anything like that. This is, in fact, just for one purpose, and that is to look awesome. Let's see what that looks like. Just from a shape perspective. Yeah, that's great. Now the question is, should the support be... Probably should be too wide. So this spans a little bit further. Yep. Other than that, I like the shape a lot. I like the curvature there. And so I'll do that. I'll do one on that side, and we'll work on texturing it. And here I am in my mines looking for gravel. Remember what I said about gathering resources beforehand? And how I don't do that? So the shape is in. We got this nice graceful arch. We've got some of the texturing. Not sure what to do at the bottom, but I might just leave it like that. And as you can see, we have some green concrete. And also, as you can see, the bridge doesn't really connect. The two sides don't match up. But have no fear. Something else you'll notice is that both of these pillars are green, and yet I've clearly established that the colors for this village are both lime green and light blue. Wow, what if there was another bridge who could bring balance to the force? On this side, right here, next to this one, we're gonna have a second sort of lane to this bridge. It'll be like a two-lane or a two-way highway, a divided highway. And this one's gonna be broken, who knows when. And they just never repaired it. And it'll be a fun little for me to jump over. And then the other one's gonna be connected, and it's gonna go all the way across, and that'll be the one that the people actually use. Because no one can be bothered with repairing this thing. And now there's the blue bridge as well. Blue bridge, two bridge, green bridge, blue bridge. That's not really how it goes. So on top of this railing, we got a couple of options. Now I'm just playing around with some things. I've got a few bumps pretty spread apart, or we can do many bumps like we see on this side over here on the green one. But I think the rest of the railing is definitely going to stay, and it's the bumps that I'm not so sure about. One thing that we could try doing is extending these bumps into like a little covering, I don't know, like a walk-through kind of thing. Like, yeah, you know, like a tent or something. I'm not sure. But as you can see, I wanted to do something different with the walkway itself. Not air, but not sandstone. So let's fill in what that might be. I want to try wood, and between the two choices that we have, again, previously established, I think acacia is at least worth a try. We can just always change our minds if we don't like the way it looks, but let's try layering down the acacia wood. It certainly makes it more interesting to walk on. Like, look at this one. Okay, now, and look at this one. Woohoo! This is so much fun! Look at me! I'm dancing! You can see there's a clear difference. So yeah, pretty awesome on the top. I like that. See what it looks like from the side, because that's really what matters. Alright. Alright, so what do you think of the color? It's between this and spruce, I think. Or maybe trapdoors? I mean, spruce trapdoors would actually work pretty well. And maybe, actually, putting spruce trapdoors underneath the acacia here. Let's try that first, since we already have the acacia up, and see if that does the trick, because I like the color accent, and I certainly like the way it looks from the top. Although it is kind of plain. Well, that is better. Better than nothing. Which is good enough for me. That's the best kind of better. Well, I think that pretty much does it for the bridges. For now. Definitely they don't need to be finished, but also definitely don't need to spend a ton of time on them. And a little detail like lanterns hanging, and this one being completely wrecked, falling apart. Well, that'll go a long way towards the concept of the area, without really agonizing over the details. There's some things I'd like to change, but I don't really know exactly how I want to change them, so better to leave it 90% complete than to worry about getting that last 10% and never get on to the next project, which is over here across the bridge, the Colosseum. The next project is kind of an understatement. This is going to be a couple episodes, and it's going to be about this big, I think. About as big as this blue wall here. And at least the inside will be this big. I think that'll be nice. And I think it's going to be an ellipse. I've actually positioned these at a spot not equidistant from the center post here. So I think we're going to make an ellipse, and that'll make a pretty interesting arena here, which will advance the storyline, because when our hero comes to this city, let's just say he's not in the best place. But I'll save that until next time. For now, let's get a plan down. And voila! Said ellipse has been generated. There's a method for creating ellipses where you take each focal point and you connect them with a string of a specified fixed length, right, to a pointer, and wherever that pointer lands, that's where you put the perimeter. I didn't use that method. I did the just make it up on the fly method. So you can take your preference, you know. Is one more right than the other? There's no way to say. Anyway, now the time comes to do something with this ellipse. And rather than just wing it, like we did for the bridge, which I already changed, you see all I did was switch the spruce and the acacia, but it's much better now. What was I saying? Yes, rather than wing it, what needs to be done now is for this thing to actually be designed somewhat, not entirely, in creative mode. And then we have a blueprint to work from. And that is exactly what I have done. You're welcome. So, as long as I can remember it, and I don't run out of resources, we can build that design forthwith. I have most of the supplies, so let's see how this goes. We need walls. We need them right about here. They need to go up about this high, I think. We need something filler down here. Whoops, okay, extra filler, that's fine. We need smooth sandstone. It's got to be real smooth. We need more filler. I think I'm going to run out of filler. Here we go. The smooth sandstone continues like that, I think. Yep, that's about right. We need more walls. Make them this high. 1, 2, 3. And the sandstone continues. I don't want to use up my smooth sandstone for filler. That's why I've got the filler. Alright, so far so good. I think this is extra. Let's get rid of it. Bam! See how fast and efficient this is being? Alright, this would have taken ages, I'm sure. Alright, we need more walls. Let's get them in there. 1, 2, 3. Now by now I think you can see the pattern with the walls, so let's move on. The sandstone has got to continue up here. 3 as well. Move on. Good, let's get this whole thing 3 high. Awesome. Now I think what's next is fence gates. I've got some of those. Now this one is going to do the old fence gate trick. When it's connected to a sandstone wall, or any wall, it goes down a little bit lower. Let's see, about 4 pixels lower than a regular fence gate, so you get a little arch. We're going to do a half fence gate trick on this side, and another half fence gate trick over here. And we're missing some walls, so let's add those in. And finish it off with another half fence gate trick. So we got some nice little archy looking things. Very cool. And add some signs, I think, and we can be done. Oops, don't want to put anything on the signs, except for maybe as a clue later on. Whoops. And about one more. Good, step back to look at it. Alright, we got a plan for the first layer. Now we got to put a roof on this, so let's get some of that good old scaffolding down here to go up to the next layer. That was probably too close. Oh well, that's alright. We need trapdoors. Yes, we do. We need spruce trapdoors like there's no tomorrow. So this one's going to have a trapdoor here, and so is this one. Yep. Actually, I take that back. Already changing the plan on me. Let's see, we need slabs. There we go. That looks about right. And trapdoor here. And trapdoor. And trapdoor. And slab. So we get a little bit of a slopey roof here. Or we get the appearance of a slope. Alright, and I think that's what we want. Let's continue this onwards like so. Cool, great. Very nice. And of course we'll have a slab right there. Stand back to look at it. Alright, that's not quite right. Well, actually that's better than nothing. I'll have to figure that out in a minute. On to the next layer. We need blocks. There we go. We're using the cut sandstone blocks, so they look a little stronger, a little more purposeful. Of course, these weren't carved out of the sand. These were brought here and placed by whomever was building this Colosseum. And we need more walls. You thought we were done with the walls. We're not done with the walls. We need them 3 high, I think. These ones might actually be too high. No, 3 high works. Okay, let's do some more of these. Whoops. Yeah, don't do that. That is not the right spot. 3, and 1, 2, 2, 3. There we go. And let's see if we can remember. Oh yes, just air behind these things, I think. Oh, that's right. Okay, and at the top we need these chiseled sandstone. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of an artistic flair here, or at least what the people that built this would have considered an artistic flair. I'll put some chiseled sandstone in for a upper border, just like that. Alright, and we may come back to this centerpiece. Actually, I think it's something kind of like that. Yeah, actually, if I remember correctly, I think it looks more like that. Great. Stand back to admire our second layer. Actually, that looks kind of nice. I like it. With a little bit more detail, that'll really be something. But we don't have time for detail. It's on to the third layer. Let's get rid of this. Bring it back to right about here. And take this thing to a whole nother level. Alright, now on top of this one, we've got... Oh, yes. We've got more roof. We need trapdoors for that. Like I said, we're going to use trapdoors like there's no tomorrow. Okay, one up here, and then one a little bit lower. Again, this is that slopey look that I think is going to give us what we want here. And I don't remember if we're connecting them or not, so for now we'll just do that. Alright, now right here we've got a new block in our arsenal, the barrel. And actually I want to see if I can't turn all my barrels upside down, because I don't want this top texture showing. But for now I'll just get the placement just right. I think I'm going to be putting one right here, and right here. I think that's about right. Now on top of these barrels we got fences now. Spruce fences coming out. Oh no, not that direction. Take a step back, and I think if we continue this all around, we'll have ourselves an arena. Now it's not like a fancy like Colosseum of Rome type place, but Sans does not have the money for a Colosseum of Rome type of place. So it makes sense in the end. And I think it'll be big enough and fancy enough, and certainly in this episode we are not going to do any of the inside, and there's going to be a lot of details and inside to do, but just getting the shell of this will actually take care of a huge portion of the design and the actual grind work for this one, and then we can devote a few more episodes to the inside and the lore for sure. So let me duplicate this design in a couple more places, and hopefully by the time we come back we'll have a shell of a Colosseum all the way around. Alright, we have a decision to face. Which one's better? The left side or the right side? I don't think I need to add wool to know. It's the right side, isn't it? It's got the taller midsection. That's the only difference. I think it's better. Yep. I need to raise this entire sample here up one block. Alright, I'll get right on that. And just like that, beyond our bridge we have the ever impressive, not as big as it seemed like it was going to be, Colosseum arena for us to play our games in. Came out pretty nice, and of course it's just an empty shell, and as any 4-year-old could point out, it needs some doors. So we're going to add that in next time we're here working on the Colosseum and building in our desert city. But speaking of that, let's give the wheel a spin as I run back to my base, and let's see what the next episode has in store in Rivenbourne. Alright, here we go. And as you can see, I've added a new color to the wheel. A new city is one of our options. Very small chance of that, and also 3 instead of 2 chances of coming back to continue the work on the Colosseum. But let's give it a spin and see what happens. Go! What's it gonna be? Getting close. And we're working in Sans, but not necessarily on the Colosseum. Gonna add some buildings this time. I think that's going to be great. So that's going to be great. But before we go to the next episode, I thought we should update our map, especially since I apparently did not like that torch very much. Especially since our newest addition has such an interesting rooftop to add in. So let's go take a look at that. Just over here, wow, you can already see it off in the distance. Fading in through the fog, very cool, and it's starting to materialize. It's a delicious blue and green sprinkled donut. Alright, and we should get the bridge as well. Oh, excuse me. Run my face into the ground. There we go. There we have it. 2 wonderful new additions to our city of Sands. Well, I hope you come back for the next episode when we build more in our world of Rivenbourne. See you later.